right. Streaming there. Streaming on Helix Rock Radio.
Cool.
We're live on.
I don't know why that's the vibe.
Live on YouTube. Excellent connection. Good, good.
Oh.
The Grawlix podcast. Grawlix Nights. Not 90s. Although that's
Can I kick it?
Grawlix 90s. Why aren't we selling Grawlix 90s?
Because the listeners we do have, I think, are mostly men, and they generally don't wear 90s. That's my guess.
And T-Public doesn't offer them.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Oh. Welcome to Grawlix Nights, the Grawlix podcast live show. I'm Randy.
I'm Melanie.
And I'm Jesse.
Guys, I think here's what we're going to do. It's a laid back, easy going type of stream tonight.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about some stuff, but we're just winging it and chilling. We're just kicking it, and we're going to kick
Relax,
it well.
guy.
Right. Right. Okay. We're going to do
Take
South
a break.
Park. Did we talk South Park last week?
We did. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
The world did.
That's, yeah, you're right. You're right.
Part of the world.
We were just doing our job.
Yeah.
Just engaging with the
And
outside
I, since
world.
then, have actually watched the whole episode.
Oh, right. Okay.
When we talked about it, I had only seen clips, and now I've seen the whole episode, and it's a masterpiece.
Chef's kiss.
Oh yeah, that's right. Audio. we're going audio only, and I do the miming. That's what you get, people. That's what you get.
all right.
I don't know what you did. You didn't do anything wrong, but that's what you
That's
get.
what you get.
That's the
vibe. You had it right, Jesse. That is the vibe. That's the vibe I like to cultivate.
Yeah. Relax, guy. Take a break.
Listener, you're appreciated, but we're not going to let you know that.
No.
And speak for yourself, by the way, Randall.
Melanie doesn't appreciate any of you.
You're unappreciated.
But that is why, though, when we do have people who will get on bouts of listening to us often and voice their opinions at us, that's why Melanie's always the favorite, because she's always pushing them away. People love that.
It's that hard to get. Yeah.
She's just nagging the audience. You know, that thing where you treat them badly and it just makes them want you more.
God.
You
Love
come
a
on
bad
our show,
boy.
You come on our show, I'll get the title of your comic wrong, I'll screw everything up, and you'll still like me.
Melanie is the bad boy of the Grawlix podcast.
Yep. If we were a boy band or a manufactured pops band, whatever, yep, she'd be the one from the streets.
She's been the misogynist of the podcast at various times too.
That's true.
That's right.
But I'm allowed to be a
Because chicks be crazy.
They do, man. They do. Or we do, whatever.
They do be like that.
It's a weird internal conflict going on there.
Yeah.
Well, hey,
Yes.
how are you two doing?
Yeah, we're
All right.
doing.
All right, good. I should wait, what?
What just happened?
Nothing. I just got a very confusing like notification that an event from Edge of the Abyss is happening soon, and I'm like, it's not. I'm here. The only event I'm doing right now is this. And I didn't schedule any posts like that. I just had to make sure I wasn't like that page didn't get hacked. Well, you guys want to kick it off like we usually do? we've been watching, consuming anything interesting. Spoilers, we don't really have a feature topic, but I know, Jesse, you've watched a couple things that are worth mentioning, I think, that we haven't necessarily watched yet, but might be worth talking about. And then we've watched some just random junk that we can talk about.
Well, speaking of being hacked, my TikTok was hacked at the beginning of like May. And so I just now got my account back. It took all summer.
Wow. What?
And so
did they
like
post anything, or they just
oh yeah, car wash content. They were trying to use my site to like generate money for some reason. And it was like, I only have 2,000 followers. I mean, like, I feel good about having 2,000 followers, but like that's hardly the kind of like follower base that you need for that kind of like influencer marketing, I feel like.
right.
Like even my friend Ben, he's got like well over 10,000, and like even he just does like a little bit. Like he does it for free toys. like these places will send him free toys and they're like, just play with it and tell them where you got it.
Mm-hmm.
But like it was like, do you hate stubborn car wash dirt? And it was like the same 4 videos almost, or they were like this. It was like 2 main videos posted twice, and that was that. And then they like changed my profile picture to a dude doing bicep curls. That was clearly not me. No beard whatsoever.
That's the tricky thing with a beard. It could have been you without a beard. People don't know.
That's true. Nobody knows what I look like
So
without a beard.
So they had control of nerd sounds.
They had the nerd sounds, but they changed it to Superman _6942 or something like ridiculous. I was like,
what's the point?
You had nerd sounds, man. Like,
why steal something to completely change it? That doesn't make any sense.
Right. If it was, I mean, 2,000 followers isn't bad. Like, but if it was a big account, I get there's like tons of followers, but yeah, it's so weird. Plus, I guess they're just banking on, well, somebody sees this account, it's got X amount of followers, so it doesn't matter what's on there. They're going to click on it, but like, it doesn't make sense, especially to take over an account, change everything, and post random crap where any of their normal followers are going to be like, yeah, no, this isn't right. What happened here?
Yeah.
Weird.
And all my other stuff was unchanged. Like my bio is the same. All my old videos were there. It was just very frustrating to watch me post me, quote unquote, posting like car wash stuff. And I'm like just trying to get my account back. And then even when I got my account back, with the way that they stole it smart. Like if you're going to steal an account, like they went all in and they changed the they like added 2-factor authentication to it. So there was no way I was getting it back. Right. Like even when TikTok support finally got, like, they had to do the whole rigmarole and like investigate it and basically agree with me that like they were like, oh, we agree that it is suspicious, and now we're going to investigate it further to see if we agree with you that you're the actual owner. And then that took forever. And then even when they did that, like they forgot to shut off the 2-factor authentication, and so I was like trying to get into re-establish my account, and I'm like, I can't get in because I never set up 2-factor, and this guy did, and I don't have an app that's actually going to let me in. So like, I need you to shut that off so I can do this. And they did. They like just dealing with them was rough, because it was like there were certain things that were rapid fire good responders about, and then there were other things where it was like it took them days, weeks, and even a month one time where I was just like, I literally just on the support ticket was just like following up on this. That was my whole response.
Right.
Can I do an anti-ad real quick? Because that reminds me of someone that I know had exactly the same thing almost happened with Chime, except they had the that like the company did not work with them at all, kind of stopped talking to them, and people kept draining their accounts. Like they took their Chime account because it's a money thing. They took their Chime account, changed the phone number and the authentication and all that jazz, and then just kept draining their account. And they couldn't get them to stop it because they were like, well, that you don't have any of it's not your phone number, or you don't have the password, so they wouldn't shut it off. And yeah, they had to close that account, their bank account, and get another one.
That's
and
awful.
We're just like, that's because somebody stole their phone. Yeah. So
I was gonna say, like, the thing that worked in my favor was that I was the one that initially created the account. So when they asked me for like the info, they were like, well, what did you create the account on? What did you like, where do you live? What's your phone? What was the phone number that you used?
Yeah.
And so it was like, okay, once they have that information, then it was like, okay, we see that you're right. And then all of a sudden there's this iPhone in this weird location. And like, then it was pretty like clear, but
yeah. Well, it's stupid too, because they can see the people that they paid the money to, like thousands of dollars going to this person or that person, and nobody will, like, the company won't investigate it, the cops won't investigate it for some reason. Like, nobody's doing anything about it, and they're very, very frustrated. And I'm like, well, I tried to look into it a little bit. You can actually contact Visa because they are partnered with them, but other than that, there were so many people complaining about exactly the same thing. So apparently Chime is not very secure, and this happens all the time. So don't use Chime. That's all I wanted to say.
Ooh. Okay.
That was an anti-ad, but that's all right. More than I won't say anti-ad. That's a consumer alert or consumer. Yeah.
I had never heard of it before. Yeah.
The more you know. Was that Grawlix Cares?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we do. We don't want anybody getting ripped off.
That's right. You can't buy comics and watch movies and then hear us eviscerate said movies.
You can't pledge money to Patreon if you don't have it.
That's right. That's right. Patreon.com.
Shout out to
probably
Film
only
Junk.
$1.
Shout out to Film Junk Podcast, by the way. Still our patrons.
Oh, hey.
They've been our patrons for a long time. I love those guys. But I logged in. This is not good to admit. I logged into our Patreon account yesterday, which was the first time in a long time since I logged into our Patreon account. And
but no one's hacked us.
Nobody's hacked us.
Good.
If they did, they are not going to get much.
They're all still on the Garlic account or something.
The Garlic podcast, yeah. Or the Grawlix.
I wonder how much of a hack like that you experienced, Jesse, how much of it's automated? Because, like, bots try to log into my websites constantly, every day. I'm getting like users locked out, and most of my websites, they don't get traffic. Like, I've got a website for Super Science, the radio show, of course, Grawlix, and some others that might get more traffic. But I have websites for just whatever, and they don't necessarily pull in a lot of traffic, but there's still people trying to log in constantly. And I think it's just like spray and pray just across everything they can. And then once they get one, somebody comes in and takes over. But I wonder how much of that's just automated. It's just like, oh, into this account, change username, change whatever, post video. I wonder if
it's like Ghostbusters. It's just Janine over there like, we got one.
Right. And then they hand it over to a angry genetically modified monkey or whatever the deal with those monkeys that were in Superman.
Oh yeah.
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 No, what? No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I had nothing.
Okay.
I mean, I have lots of things to say. It's going to be a fascinating show.
It is wonderful.
Right.
I was just gonna say I'm sorry that I derailed us, and we can go back to what was being consumed over the week or whatever.
Oh, right. Well, I will say this. Here's my quick catch up on movies that I've watched. Because I have continued my martial arts kung fu movie binge, and I'm on to Jet Li now because I watched The Legend 2. The proper title is what? It's The Legend of, what's the character's name? Fong Sayuk.
Mm-hmm.
The Legend 2, Legend of the Red Dragon, which is not, it's disconnected. That's not a part of it. And then I rewatched The Legend, and I actually made Melanie watch it.
Mm-hmm.
So, The Legend, I think, doesn't get talked about enough because it's from '93. In fact, yeah, both those movies came out in '93. Man, that's packet. What's happening?
That's one of
That was me
wasn't
laughing.
that one of his last big martial arts epics or whatever? Or that's what he was billing it as? Like his
I don't think
retirement
so.
from doing those like Once Upon a Time in China type movies.
Yeah,
Maybe I'm thinking of a different one.
It might have been. I feel like it's probably a little bit later because Legend of the Red Dragon was a similar type deal, very different tone, and that was '94. Once Upon a Time in China, those were around the same time period, so I'm not sure what's later on. But I was telling Melanie the other day, I do remember an interview or just an article talking about how he quit doing those kind of movies at a certain point because he got tired of having to have the
It might have
front
been
half
like
of his head shaved.
Hero. It might have been Hero.
That sounds
Was he
about
in
right.
that?
Yeah, that sounds
Yeah,
about
that-
right.
that-
Which
that
would
might
be
be
later. That was like 2000s, I think. 2000s at some point.
Okay.
That sounds about right. No, this is younger, boyish charms Jet Li. Although I don't think he ever really lost boyish charms. He just has that face.
Even in the Expendables, he's just like he
Right.
feels like the kid of the group. So
Right. So I'm curious though, because The Legend and The Legend 2 are very comedy oriented, goofy, veering into very self-aware, kind of meta, veering into live action Looney Tunes territory. Not quite as extreme as something like Kung Fu Hustle, but there are moments where it's ridiculous. And I'm
but
curious
very
to hear.
Jackie Chan.
It's so interesting because I don't like too much. I do like some of the Jackie Chan movies. I talked about Drunken Master and all that not long ago, I think. But my tolerance for it for Jackie Chan's goofy slapstick is much lower than it is for something like these Legend movies or Once Upon a Time in China, although those aren't quite as wacky. I have a higher tolerance for it, and I'm not sure what it is. Like, they're a little bit more measured. It's not constantly like, oh, I'm gonna grab on my butt because it hurt, and like it's just
like a human anime.
Yeah. I don't know, but Melanie, I
Yeah.
made you watch The Legend. I debated doing it, and I told you multiple times we can stop if you don't really want to watch it. But you watched through the whole thing. What did you think of this thing?
It was kind of ridiculous, but it wasn't horrible. I mean, some of it was dumb. I didn't like the whole like constantly like being like missing each other, the two people that didn't recognize each other or whatever, but they were looking for each other, but then didn't see each other and they kept not recognizing each other. And the thing also with the mom and or both moms, I guess, and them or whatever. I don't like the weird identity questions. Those are stupid to me. I don't like any of that. And I don't like that the only people that, or maybe not the only people that died, but the main people that died were like the decent people in the groups of people,
Yeah, the movie does take a tonal shift towards the end. So, okay.
And for a minute I thought he was going to beat people with that guy's dead body, but he didn't. And I was both happy and a little disappointed that it didn't happen.
Right. So part of it is the one thing she's talking about is Jet Li's character meets I don't know her name, but love interest early on in the movie, and there's clearly a spark, and then whatever hijinks ensue, and he ends up winning her hand in marriage,
Or his mom does.
or his mom does, disguised as an older brother, but then has to disappear because it's his mom, and so he has to marry this woman, but he does not realize it's the same woman. He thinks it's this other woman. So it's like he doesn't want to marry her because he doesn't realize it's the one chick, and the one chick doesn't realize it's him that won the competition. She doesn't want to marry that guy. And so they really drag on the idea of like them even talking to each other, but like the candle goes out and it's dark in the room and they don't realize it's them each other and they're fighting. And it takes a long time before they both are like, "Oh, it's you. Okay. I'm gonna feed you some cookies for a while."
Yeah.
But there is a scene that I loved, a fight scene that I loved that I think was, it was a little, there's a lot of wire work. It's that era and that kind of style of movie. And not every shot is convincing, but there's a scene where eventually it's a fight scene that takes place on top of a crowd, like running across their heads, standing on their shoulders, and it goes on for quite a while, this fight scene on top of a crowd. And it was a lot of fun, and I enjoyed that quite a bit. And I feel like those movies need to get talked about more.
Michelle Yeoh is the mom, by the way.
Was it? I don't
Wait.
think so.
No, wait. Who's the chick from Everything Everywhere All at Once?
Yeah, that's Michelle Yeoh, but
Isn't
I don't think
that
it was her.
That's his mom.
That one, no, she's not in that.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay, well, I'm sorry, I'm racist, I guess.
No, it's fine. It is a lady with that demeanor, though. Michelle Yeoh would have been younger in '93 as well. Trying to see who. Doesn't matter. Yeah. So that's the thing I watched. Not an awkward segment at all.
Did the kung fu thing.
Yeah. Well, I get on Kicks and
Kicks.
Tubi. Oh gosh, I didn't even intend to do that. Tubi. Tubi. I've praised Tubi in the past. They're owned by Fox. Fox isn't great. That's kind of disappointment. But man, if you want to watch some like classics, Tubi all the way. I got Max and Disney Plus right now and Hulu and stuff, and like especially the weekends if Melanie's not here and it's not like we'll usually watch like a newer movie or something somewhat recent, whatever, see what's new. But if Melanie's not here, I want to watch some classics, and Tubi's like the only way to go. Occasionally Plex, but the ads are much worse on Plex. You've been watching anything else, Jess? You've been consuming anything?
I have. I don't know where do we start? Do we start with the big tentpole movie of the summer?
No, let's do the other. Let's get Blue.
Okay. Oh man, just adventure. It happens out of the blue. I'm pretty sure that was the tagline.
Was it? Oh no.
So I don't know. I'm a Smurf guy, right? Like I don't think I've made that a secret, or if I have, it's a bad secret. Like I've got multiple volumes of the old comic. Yeah, and I've talked about it on here. I was like, the Purple Smurf story is like, I think we even did like an episode where we talked about the Purple Smurf episode and how it predates Night of the Living Dead even. So
right.
yeah,
like
we've had that discussion.
Kind of zombie. It felt like a zombie parody before of a genre that really wasn't. Yeah.
Hadn't quite manifested yet. and so yeah, I was like, you know what, I'm in the mood for this dumb fun thing. I'm gonna go see a dumb fun thing, and it just happened to work out, and where it was like I have the afternoon free. There's really no reason not to. I'm actually going into Omaha anyways, so I'm just gonna do it. I gotta do it. I haven't gone to a movie by myself in a long time. Uh, and so I did that, and I watched the Smurfs, and I didn't have like a huge expectation for it. I'd seen the Smurfs, the Lost Village, or whatever. I think it's either on Paramount Plus or it's on Netflix. I saw it somewhere, and it was fine. I can't remember who played Smurfette in that, but it was I think it was like maybe it's Ariana Grande for that one. I think it's always been like a pop star. I hadn't realized that until after the fact. Katy Perry played Smurfette in the like weird hybrid live action one.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. That one was straight up live action. I guess what you'd call this new movie is kind of a hybrid live action, because it's like going the Roger Rabbit route, where it's cartoons in the real world.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Anyways, I mean, like I'm kind of burying the lead on it. It was fine. It was a Smurf movie, like it starts in Smurf Village. They do they're all happy. And we're like, it's interesting because I listen to like audiobooks and stuff about like writing and the hero's journey and those kinds of things, right? Like story structure and three act and whatever. And someone had said something about well, it's really not that interesting, the story about the guy who never left the village. And I was like, somebody's never heard about the Smurfs, because that's their jam, man. Not leaving the
Right.
village unless there's a movie. If there's a movie, they're getting out of Smurf Village as soon as possible for whatever reason. Like every movie.
Yeah, that's
they're just like,
interesting.
going to New York. I'm going to hang out with Neil Patrick Harris, says Hefty Smurf. And then Lost Village, Smurfette. I got to get out of the Smurf Village and find more Smurfettes.
Oh, sure.
Something,
Okay.
That's there's got to be. I can't be the only Smurfette in the universe. There's got to be more Smurfettes out there somewhere, but they're not in this village. That's for sure. So gotta go.
And frankly, it's a problem.
Manliest Smurf. yeah. The sausage party up in this village or whatever. And then in this one, it's like this was I thought this was an interesting take. They have a Smurf called No Name, and he's the actual protagonist of the show, even though they're really focused in on the fact that they've got Rihanna as Smurfette. And she did great. I mean, she did fine. All you got to do is be able to sing the la, 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 la. If you can do that, you're great. It's good. But it's James Corden is this No Name Smurf. And so, like, I mean, whatever you feel about James Corden, but like, he's kind of perfect for this kind of dopey, like, I don't know my way in life kind of vibe, right? And so, like, the whole deal is like every Smurf has their thing, right? Like you're brainy or you're grouchy or you're hefty or whatever. It's like the Seven Dwarfs, only blue and way smaller.
Right.
But this one Smurf character has no thing, and so he's like, well, I don't have a thing, and he's just like having an identity crisis the whole time. And come to find out, there's like this magic book, and so this magic book like gives him magic powers, and then that's his thing all of a sudden. But then it kicks into the adventure of like, oh man, there's Gargamel's brother he's in Germany, and he wants the book that's apparently hidden in Smurf Village. And so he opens up a portal and tries to capture Papa Smurf, and does. And then they all got to go to Paris. I don't know why they went to Paris other than to say that they went to Paris.
Right.
So they went to Paris, and then they meet Nick Offerman's Papa Smurf, the brother, kind of thing. They were like, go find Ken. That's the weirdest thing, is like everybody's got to have a thing unless you live on Earth, and then you just have a name like Ken. So
Right,
Nick
sure,
Offerman is
sure.
Ken. Like, go find Ken, and he's like Papa Smurf if Papa Smurf was, you know, still in the comics, because he's like he's like gruff and whatnot. He's like, these Smurfs don't know their Smurf from their Smurf, you know, that kind of thing. And they even did a lot of that. And so I don't know. I thought it was fun. You know, it was like a Nick Offerman Smurf. They do this whole wacky hijinks thing where it's like, oh, it's the League of Evil Wizards, and then Gargamel shows up on Earth, and everybody's on Earth, and they introduce new weird Smurfy adjacent characters and whatnot, and it was, I mean, it's like it's made for kids, and it was fine. And then I get off. Or no, I get out of there and I'm like, yeah, that was fine. That was like, it had a very like 1980s cartoon movie vibe, but made now, you know, like,
Okay.
you know how like
Okay.
the Care Bears movie felt like. It was like, oh, we watched the Care Bears on Saturday morning cartoons or after school or whatever. And that had a feel. But then when you have Care Bears the movie, there's like something that just amps it up, kind of deal.
Mhm.
And for better or for worse, you know, like DuckTales and the Legend of the Lost Lamp, or the Secret of the Lost Lamp, or whatever. It's like, oh, it's DuckTales, but it's like DuckTales, you know, that kind of thing. Or Transformers. Oh, it's Transformers, but Optimus Prime dies. I mean, that's a bad example.
Right.
You know, I mean, like anytime they took like a TV show and they were like, but it's going to the silver screen.
It's just like,
And
it's bigger. It's bigger. They put
yeah,
more behind the animation. They make a point to make it a little glossier. Yeah, I get it.
yeah, it's
Bigger
3 times
adventure.
the length.
Yeah.
You know, and it's all one story about a Smurf with no name. So, you know, that's the kind of the vibe that it had. And I was like, I was oddly, I mean, for a nostalgia movie and whatnot, I was like, that's kind of the perfect vibe for this thing. And then I get out of there and I get on the internet and I'm like, man, I bet other people loved it too. They hate this thing.
Yeah.
They hate it like with such a passion. And I'm like, what? And they're all like, they're just trying to cash in on the trolls. And I'm like, the trolls? Smurf, please.
I was a little. Oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead, please.
I was gonna say I was a little upset when I saw the commercial, and I was like, "Why does that Smurf have an orange beard? They're blue.
Oh.
Why isn't it blue?" But other than that,
yeah. But then you got blonde-haired, blue-eyed Smurfette. So I mean, but at least she's like an abomination made out of clay, sent to destroy the Smurfs.
Right.
Tell me that's not the patriarchy at work.
Yeah,
like, wait, did they just steal the Wonder Woman origin, or is that the other way around? Did Wonder Woman steal that origin? I don't know.
And when do lie detectors and whips come into it?
You know, like everybody's real, everybody's real problem with it was like, was really like Rihanna and the dance moves and a bunch of shallow nonsense. But they were just like, this movie's garbage. And I'm like, was it though? This is not worse than other movies I've seen. I thought it had something entertaining for the kids and for the people that probably grew up on the Smurfs that are taking the kids to the movie. And I thought it was fine. I did not think it was going to be the next like Despicable Me or anything. I didn't think, I mean, didn't have unrealistic vibes. Like, you know what? This is going to outpace the Ninja Turtles movie. No, it wasn't going to do that, but it was fine.
Do you think?
So I don't know what they expected.
Do you think it was like a the trailer made up their mind before seeing the movie? Because
I think that's part of it. A lot of people had low expectations for it, but I would think that would help your actual ultimate review of it, honestly, because I was like, I don't know, there's a weird vibe to it, but then it was like Nick Offerman. Oh, let's go.
Right. Because I could see like initially, I think we watched the trailer and I think I was initially like, because pop star casting.
Mhm.
You don't necessarily, not that that's, as you pointed out, that's definitely not new for especially Smurfs
Holy
movies.
cow, the casting was crazy on this thing. Like, I didn't even touch on like Alex Winter is Hefty Smurf.
Really?
Yeah, and he was great. Because I mean, you just give him kind of that dopey look, like he just plays a meathead version of Bill, and you got it.
Right.
Then you had Sholo, the kid that plays the Blue Beetle and plays Miguel in Cobra Kai. He was
Okay.
Brainy Smurf. He was great. What's her name? Natasha. She's in, I want to say it's Poker Face. She was in
Oh,
Orange
yeah.
is the New Black. She was a character in this. She was great. Yeah, it's like everybody was great in this thing. But I don't know, people were like, the voice acting was awful, the choreography was crazy and dumb, and like there were songs in it, so it's got that Disney thing, but I was like, that's fine, it's for kids, it's you kind of got to do a little bit of that, whatever. Yeah, I just thought I thought it was fine, and so I feel like the rage reviews are much ado about nothing and well misplaced, and like I went on TikTok, and so I'm seeing all these things, and like the most honest reviews that I saw were the people who were like, "Here's my expectations going into the movie. Here's how I feel about it after I came out of the movie." And I felt like those were fairly honest. And some of them were just like, well, it was kind of boring because I was an adult. I was the adult in the room and whatever. And it's like that same dude was like, I don't know if I should even go to this. I wasn't even planning on it. I was like, then why did you go? Like, did you go because you
Right.
think you're a TikTok movie influencer and you felt like you had to, and this movie was never for you, so you were just going to give it a bad review because, and then you just cite the bad reviews that were pre-existing on Rotten Tomatoes? Like it feels like there's a lot of people going to movies and then they make a video and they just like cite all the bad reviews, and it's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
so
Well,
it was bad because other people said it was bad, and I'm also saying it's bad.
the internet loves that, though. They love the spicy reviews. That's why all the like, as I used to call them, the angry white guy reviewers on YouTube. That's why all those like toxic crap channels that rail against the same things and basically have the same talking points about whatever property it is. That's why those do so well. They do well, so then people keep doing them. And yeah, it does then lend to like lazy reviewers. And it's not like it's not like we've never watched something that's not necessarily meant for us and had negative thoughts about it. But I'm never like,
Sure.
I feel like we rarely to never go into something expecting to hate it, come out hating it, and then like really talk about it. That, if anything, the things we go in expecting to love get more hate from us than anything else. Maybe that's not good either, but I don't know. Yeah, I definitely don't get that. The idea, just don't review it then. You didn't want to see it. You know it's not for you. It's what you expected. What did you expect? Like, just don't review it. But I don't know.
Yeah. Well, and then like I go to Rotten Tomatoes, and like the review is, yeah, it's 21% by the critics, which I suppose would
Oh,
translate to about 1 star or whatever. I mean, like that's really low. It's bad.
that's
But
bad. Yeah.
on the on the audience reviews, it's like 65%, which means you're pushing into
Okay.
2.5 to almost 3 stars there.
Okay. Yeah. I'm surprised the critics so low. You never
Yeah.
can tell with. I mean, Rotten Tomatoes is, none of the scores can really be trusted because some of them, there's a lot of weird stuff going on. There's a lot of payola. There are people that are critics in there that are kind of make their career off being contrarian anyway. But
Right.
That is surprisingly low for
Some
a
of
critic
them
score.
are legit, like the Wall Street Journal, LA Times, or whatever. But then there's like moviefreak.com and Pop Culture Leftovers. And like these get considered in with all the other reviews, you know.
Sure.
It's like, okay. I mean, that and I'm not like specifically picking on any of these because I don't even know. Maybe those are major players, but like there's some in there that aren't. There's some in there that are just like, oh well, they have a website. they're doing this, so they get to weigh in on the critic side of things. I don't know. Anyways, I thought it was fine. And if you got kids, your kids will probably like it. And if you grew up liking the Smurfs, you'll probably have some laughs, you know, and that's really what the Smurfs is about. I mean, the Smurfs is about like hanging out in a mushroom house, like in a village with the other Smurfs that are like multiple personality disorders if we were all the same guy.
Right. Okay. Yep.
Except for one chick, you know, like then there's the chick personality in your brain. It's that, yeah.
Oh,
You know what I'm
okay.
saying?
Sure.
That's
the Smurfs exist inside of all of us.
Yeah. Yeah. We are the Smurfs. You're the Smurf. I'm a Smurf. Everybody's a Smurf. We are Smurf. Groot. Something.
I think we're smurfed.
I think we should Smurf this thing along. Just keep smurfing.
I don't want to make you keep talking alone for super long. What else? Melanie, is there anything you or we've been watching? Because I do want to get to your thoughts on the other thing, but you know, you know, it's good to have a break once in a while.
No, I don't. Not that I can think of.
We just finished. I need to get this whole title right.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Oh, the slime.
The slime
one, yeah.
Yeah, we just finished it.
We finally finished it. So it's another anime on the pile of animes that we're waiting for the next season, which has been confirmed, but there's no date, and it's probably going to take years.
Yeah, they all do.
I actually, I guess the title's not that complex. That time I got reincarnated as a slime.
Yeah.
We watched 4 seasons and a movie, and we didn't finish the spin-off season, but it's weird. It's a good show, but it's weird. It's a weird show. It eventually devolves into like there's a lot of at a certain point it just kind of turns into like constant world building. Here's this nation and these characters and they're running this nation and this is how they interact with this nation.
There's a lot of meetings and delegation that happen. So many meetings.
Because at first it's like this guy's reincarnated in a slime, but he has these amazing powers and he gets all this magic. So he ends up like, but he's also friendly. So he's tough and he ends up like befriending this village of like, were they goblins or something?
Yeah, they were goblins.
And then in this world, if you name a monster, they take some of your magic, but then they evolve and become stronger. And it's kind of fun because you see like he's building a town. They're all like worshiping him basically. He's like the leader now. He's building a town and he's getting more powers as he's getting in different fights and encountering different people, and he can like consume things and it kind of goes along like that, like feel good, and then there's a big fight and he does some amazing power thing and then gets stronger, and then more people are just like, you're awesome, man, we want to follow you, and it just like keeps going like that to the point where he's now like running a major nation, and the show just becomes endless meetings. Maybe we're going to cut over for half an episode or a full episode to these other people in this other nation that's going to become relevant when they need to establish a trade route or some crap.
Yeah.
And I feel like it does suffer a little bit because I do miss, because at a certain point he doesn't have to like do cool stuff to win people over. He's got his lackeys who are all like super powered as well, and they do cool stuff to win people over for him. And I do feel like it's flops down a little bit, like
Mhm.
well, just show, don't tell all the time. But even at that,
The Japanese really have a dark vision of capitalism,
it's totally.
or
I was
an accurate one. Maybe an accurate vision of capitalism.
well, it's so funny because he goes the whole like arc. He goes to this fantasy world, and as he's getting more powerful, his whole goal is basically to turn it into modern Japan. He's Japanese dishes. Yeah, he's invented like introducing he's working out a train system, whereas like they've been horse and buggy, using light magic to broadcast huge screens of TV screens and stuff, like just stuff like that. A little bit like fantasy high tech.
Time Machine 2.
Right.
What's going on?
But an episode or two ago, I was like, he's going to destroy this world because it's just going to turn into modern capitalist society. And that's what it is.
He's already built a road through the pristine jungle. A pretty big one at that.
And the tree spirit ladies were like, sounds great. We love you, Rimuru. Like they're just on board. It's like
they left the forest and moved into his dungeon.
I was like, why are the tree spirits? Why do they want to live in a dungeon? It's weird, but whatever. That said, even with the meetings, they can be a little tedious sometimes. It's still kind of a fun show.
Yeah.
I wish there was a little bit more action injected into at least that last season for sure. But
I think it's fun when well, the scheming isn't necessarily fun, but I think it's fun when they're like he befriends somebody that's like a little sus, and then they end up being good people, and then they just get blown away because he's like, oh, well, now you can be my minister of finance, and they're like, what? I'm just some dude, and he's like, no, you can do it.
Yeah, some truly shady characters.
It seems like friends with slavers kind of people.
Yeah, right, right. And
I mean, they didn't want to do business with them, to be fair, but still,
they knew them. They were They were connected with them.
Yeah,
they were in that world.
The interesting thing is that being a slime was a metaphor for his politics.
Yeah, maybe
he was slimy. He was the slime. The real message was the slime we met along the way.
There's some good humor in it because it's a what is the word? Isaki? No, that's not right. It's a subgenre. It's a very popular subgenre. There's a million shows on Crunchyroll like this where it's like somebody dies and is reincarnated in a fantasy world, and it's usually very gamified, to the point where like he gets powers and he has like a voice that talks to him, and it's very like RPG video gamified systems.
This is the show where he door dashes, right?
Door dashes.
Maybe it was a different one where he's like, yeah, you just call to order food.
No, this is a different one, but it's the same thing. It's the same genre. No, you're thinking the one where it's the guy who is reincarnated in some fantasy world, or he whatever ended up in some fantasy world, and his special power is online shopping.
Right.
In a like an old school fantasy land, they don't have technology, but he's got a phone he can order stuff on that appears magically. That's his special power. Yeah, that's what yours. I can't remember what the name of that show was.
We don't think we ever finished that, did we?
No, we watched like an episode, and I was like, we also watched an episode of one where it was the guy died and reincarnated as a vending machine in a fantasy land. And these are all different shows. They're all real. They all exist on Crunchyroll. Look it up.
They're all real shows.
And the first episode,
there's a studio that made these.
He's just the guy's just a it's literally just a vending machine in a fantasy land. He can't walk. He has it. You hear his inner monologue, but the only thing that comes out is like the pre-program, like "thank you" that would be in a fancy vending machine. And somehow that's a show.
I can't imagine there's more than one season of that.
I don't know, but there's a lot of these shows.
But there's volumes and volumes of the manga.
Oh, I'm sure. Probably. There are tropes that are fun. I like the ones that play with that get kind of meta and ridiculous with it. Like this one when he's the slime one when he's dying and he's saying these things like, oh, and my next life I want to be because he's like a single guy and he was never like with a lady, and he's like, I want to have all the ladies, and then it's like predator skill acquired. That's one of the best laughs I think from this early on. And it doesn't end up being like a dark skill necessarily, although I guess he can consume a thing and take its abilities, so that is kind of dark, but just stuff like that.
But not only
it's funny.
They give him that, but they make him a slime, so he's genderless. So he still can't get it on.
Right.
Doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a weird mix of like generally feel good, wholesome, like, oh, everybody's just gonna be friends, to where it's like ridiculous that everybody's just friends. I mean, there's still some villains, but he's dealing with these really some of them literal demons, some of them are just like cutthroat rulers of other nations, and they end up like, all right, pal, and they just like become best buds, and it's ridiculous. But then at the same time, there's little things that are just like, that's real dark. Like the main character of the show just had to slaughter 10,000 soldiers to become a whatever, to evolve to a thing, and that's the good guy. So it's tonally, it's
basically
very
all
strange.
the demons in a D20 campaign.
Right.
Or any demon that Brennan Lee Mulligan voices is actually kind of a swell dude.
You're right. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, you're right. That we've talked about, Melanie, I talked about it when we discussed the show quite a bit. That is the case of like a lot of the characters, it's like, they seem like good natured people, but their backstory is like, this lady destroyed her entire nation to become a demon lord. But she's also like super carefree and fun and like, oh, just wants to be, what does she say, Melanie? Besties for resties? Besties for resties. Like,
but her story's a little bit different because they killed her like father or something, and that's why she murdered them all. It wasn't to become a demon lord. She just happened to become a demon lord afterwards.
Not every citizen of an entire nation killed her father. She's murdered everyone. So you got characters like that where they're typically considered in the world evil, but then they're just like, yeah, we're best friends. Give me a manga. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I want to read the next issue of that manga. Where you got him? Yeah, anyway.
Which that's also one of his skills. He can just like recreate anything out of himself, I guess.
That also seems to be another trope of like, whoever the main character is, they're put into this world and they're ridiculously overpowered. So there's like a big power fantasy, which it makes it even funnier. The show that we first started watching that kind of introduced us into that genre, Konosuba, because that is basically a parody of that genre and flips a lot of that on its head, to where a guy gets resurrected and also like kind of tricks like this goddess into like being sent to this fantasy world with him, and they're just poor and weak and broke for the first longest time, living in a barn and just struggling the whole time. And after watching a bunch of these some of these other ones, be like, oh, that's like a total inversion of the idea of like a super OP, I got reincarnated this ridiculously OP character in a fantasy land. It's like, no, these people are losers in a fantasy land.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's also one. We can stop talking about anime, but those are fun. Those are some of them are fantastic. Okay.
Oh, there it is.
Like,
yeah.
Right.
Just tear the Band-Aid off. Yeah. I went to Fantastic Four, the first steps or whatever the subtitle is, the Fantastic Four movie.
I do not like that the subtitle. First Steps, I get it. It's like X-Men First Class. It's like, First Steps is kind of worse, actually. How was it? What'd you think?
Yeah, it was good. It was fun. And so it's another situation where like, except this one is getting really good reviews on all the like sites. So I was like, oh yeah, it'll probably be pretty good. And so when it was good, I was like, yeah, it's good. And then I get home and it's like, I start seeing the negative reviews and people are like, well, James Gunn warned us about this. I was like, what? What does
Oh,
James Gunn have to do with this? Like, I don't understand the internet. Um, no, it was fine. It was fun and it was good. And even like the characters I wasn't sure about, like Johnny Storm, you know, it's basically what's his name? What Eddie from Stranger Things is Johnny
oh,
Storm.
okay, okay. I didn't realize that. Sure.
But they all play it in this like retro futuristic uh you know, world. It's not the main 616. It's not like set in the past. It's a offshoot world. And so like I think that makes all the things that are strange or you might get mad about, like all the rage reviewing uh about like, I don't know, the Silver Surfer not being Nor and Rad. It doesn't matter
Sure.
because it's 828 or whatever is the world. So it's all good. You know, like everything's good. I loved The Thing. I could just watch an entire movie of The Thing just being kind of awesome. He's not like,
Okay.
he's not really like mopey about it. You know, like that's the way they always play it, is like, I'm a monster and everybody hates me. No, he's a superstar. Everybody loves him, you know, and he's just like, he's just walking down the street. He's just walking down Yancey Street and there's a bunch of kids like at school and stuff. And they're like, oh, tip that car over. And he's like, what, this car right here? He's just like, you know, being cool with the kids. He's like, I don't know. And he's like pretending he can't lift it, like he can't move it or anything. And then he's like, whoop, and he puts it up over his head, kind of thing.
Sure.
Uh, yeah, he was just awesome. And then like there's a point in the movie where they have to conserve electricity in order to like build up enough electricity to power this thing that they're going to do to try to stop Galactus. And so the thing can't shave. And so they got the thing with a beard, and that's kind of cool too. Um,
Right.
yeah, it was just fun. Pedro Pascal played it really well. They all did really well. In fact, I think this is my favorite version of the Invisible Woman, although she was a
Okay.
little over the top. If there was a criticism, Holly was like, that was a little over the top. But it's like, yeah, but she's literally like a superhero Pope lady. You know, like everybody loves her that much. You know, like this family is like the royal family kind of deal almost.
Okay.
You know, like they've saved the world countless times. They're kind of the main superheroes kind of thing. Even yeah, and they've got the Future Foundation already established and whatnot. So
I did
I don't
see a
know.
shirt that said "In Pedro We Trust" and it had a picture of Pedro Pascal. So
He was awesome. He was great in this. I don't know if I had a whole lot of worry about this movie. It kind of, I guess at first I was like, really, Pedro Pascal, and I don't know about the look of this, you know, but like again, like Superman, like once you get to it and you watch it, it's like, man, this is perfect. This is how it should have been. Um, what's his name? Paul, is it Paul Walter Hauser? Stingray from Cobra Kai.
Okay.
He's the mole man. And I was like, okay,
Okay.
that's an interesting choice. And at first I was like, no, because in my brain I always wanted Danny DeVito in a green cape.
Sure.
Just
Sure.
mad about those people who aren't moles. Um, but no, he was great. He was great as it. He was a little more dapper than I would have expected, but it was like, no, he played it great. And he had this whole like kind of well, I mean, obviously an antagonistic relationship, but like a competitive almost relationship with Mr. Fantastic. And he's like, there's a point where they need to ask the mole man for help. And he's like, I want him to say it, you know. And then as soon as Reed leaves the room, he's like, what do you need? He's because like Sue Storm is just very she's like a political force too in the movie. So like
Okay.
she's not just mom. She's not just super mom or whatever in this.
Right.
She's
Right.
also like got her finger on the pulse. She's very active and whatnot, and people respect her. And so like when when Reed's out of the room and whatnot, and it's not about, you know, who's the better scientist or whatever, then he's like, yeah, no, seriously, what do you need? So
That's fun.
I don't know. It was really good. Galactus looked great. The Silver Surfer looked great. I liked how much and how little they attached to it. If there was anything that was kind of confusing, it's like the fact that they have, if you don't know anything about Franklin Richards,
Right.
in the Fantastic Four, and how he has like Omega level powers, the ability to literally alter the face of reality, right? If you know that, then everything makes a little more sense. If you know there's an alternate future where Franklin Richards literally is Galactus, you know, then the plot makes a little more sense. It's like, oh yeah, Franklin Richards is like the most powerful of the entire family kind of deal. Because at one point, like the threat becomes that Galactus basically wants the baby.
Okay. Okay.
Because then he can stop being Galactus, you know. That's the kind of thing. He's like, I will leave your world alone. I will not devour your world. I will let you go on living. Give me the baby. And that kind of becomes, and so like it was better than the Ultimate Nullifier, you know, like the original Fantastic Four storyline that Stan wrote. You know, it's like, well, if you're gonna kill us, we'll just blow everything and you up. We'll blow ourselves up and you. We're just all gonna die together. And then Galactus is like, that's no good. I'm leaving. So I'm glad they didn't do that. He's like, I'm not calling that bluff. I'm out of here.
I'm leaving. Excelsior. And he flew off.
Excelsior.
All characters, if they're written by Stan Lee, sound like Stan Lee.
They do have that's the name of their rocket ship, though, is the Excelsior.
Sure.
So
Well,
they didn't try to shoehorn a cameo in on this one, so I didn't know how to, and I don't know how I feel about that, or maybe I missed it, but it was like, oh man, this is like the most Stan Lee thing ever made, and so that was kind of bittersweet to not actually have a Stan Lee cameo somehow.
Right.
Well,
Right. And I feel
I'm
like
sure
at a certain point,
he was in the old ones, so whatever.
right. Yeah. I feel like at a certain point, they probably have to be like, no, let's not keep CGIing him into these things. It's going to get like weirdly morbid at a certain point, maybe.
Yeah.
Right.
As much as that last Fantastic Four's attempt, or the director's attempt to do like a dark body horror with the Fantastic Four, the tone that I've seen, obviously I haven't seen the movie, just the trailer, but what the trailer's going for, I mean, Fantastic Four, I kind of don't know how you do Fantastic Four without it being campy. I feel like there's not really an appropriate dark and gritty version of Fantastic Four. I mean, if you want to do a what if, that's one thing, but
that's why Doctor Doom works, and that's what the other Fantastic Four movies never understood about Doctor Doom, is like the only way that Doctor Doom really works is if he is the straight man, if he is the dark, scary, force, you know, like that's and they kind of they nod to it in this movie, but this really isn't about Doctor Doom at all. And so like I think that's the way you got to treat Doctor Doom. You treat Doctor Doom as seriously as possible in this ridiculous comic book, you know, like everything else is bright and colorful and whimsical, and we are a family, and okay, that's a sauce, you know. All right.
Yeah.
And you got a robot that's basically R2D2, but you know, like retro futuristic with like cassettes for eyes and whatnot.
I haven't heard too much about how well the movie's doing. Not that it matters, but it's interesting because there's obviously there was buzz and whatever. They put a lot of marketing behind this one too, but maybe I was just more keyed into the Superman stuff as well, though. But just thinking about like reception wise, and
it seems like it's cooling down a lot faster than Superman did, but I think a lot of people went and saw it. I think it had like amazing opening weekend numbers, but I think that it seems like maybe it's going to trail off a lot faster than Superman. I don't know.
And
a lot of people are going to both, doing a double feature. So
right. No, I think that's fair. I think with this, I think people kind of like the trailer puts it out there pretty well. Like I think people knew what to expect. Superman being like the first in the new DCU and being a James Gunn directed Superman movie, especially given like the tonal shift back towards a more campy Superman. People didn't really know what to expect, so I think maybe that's why there was at least more online discussion about it, because it was more of a question mark going into it. But
so the Fantastic Four was fantastic, but Superman was amazing.
What else? I wonder what else is amazing.
Yeah, what else?
I'll tell you. You know what else is amazing? Robot bunnies.
Spider-Man.
Robot bunnies.
Robot bunnies fighting Spider-Man.
Okay.
Well, no, but
okay, sorry.
Let's go.
So Burmese pythons are one of the world's largest snakes and also the most problematic invasive species in Florida, since some of pets were released into the wild in the 1970s. And now they're among the top predators in the local ecosystem. Unfortunately, they are also very difficult to track down and capture. So conservationists have had to get really creative. And this week, researchers at the University of Florida have released 40 solar-powered remote-controlled robot bunnies. They're plushies on the outside, and they have heaters added to make them as realistic as possible. So hopefully the snakes will at least come out of hiding and like check them out, but preferably take them back to their lair or whatever it is that you call where they live. Maybe they don't even have lairs, but take them with them. But if they don't work, the researchers do have a few more ideas that they're working on to get this taken care of once and for all.
Okay.
But how great is that? There's like just little robot bunnies running around all in Florida.
That's weird, but good.
Yeah.
Snakes.
Come with me if you want to live.
So is the hope that they'll eat them and take them back to their...
Even if they don't eat them, they hide, and you can't. It's really, really hard to find for some reason. They want them to at least come down to where their bunnies like come down to them, and then because they have like video and stuff, so they'll know when they come, and they can try to get there in time to catch them. But if they don't get there, they're hoping they will eat them so that they can track them and then catch them.
I want a remote controlled robot bunny with video feed. That would be awesome.
Wouldn't it be?
Here we are broadcasting from the inside of a Burmese python.
Okay. I take it back. That'd be terrifying.
Look at that esophagus. Have you seen such a thing?
You want to be a squirrel, I think, Randy, a robot squirrel, so you can climb up trees and then look in people's windows and see what they're watching.
That'd be cool. I just see what they're watching. I'm not a perv voyeur. I'm a TV voyeur. I just want to see what you're doing. And I'm already disappointed in you, so it's fine. It's going to be something boring.
A robot squirrel with a universal remote control.
I'm going to put it on. That's a lot of work just to watch TV through someone else's TV.
Well, you're going to watch their TV until they're doing it wrong, and then you're going to help them out. You're like a superhero, really.
Yeah.
You're watching daytime talk shows again. No, click.
You're
Oh
British
God,
for
you watching
C-SPAN.
24-hour news? No way.
Oh. Well,
right. I'll unleash legions of legion of squirrels to change the channel on every TV that's played Fox News.
yeah. That's
Maybe
smart.
if they watch a little more reincarnated as a slime, they'd understand.
Anime for all. They'll all love it.
You get a slime. You get a Dan to Dan.
The anime squirrel's back. You get a Dan to Dan. Dan to Dan. Oh, I think there's a new episode we'll probably need to watch. Forget the slime show. Go watch Dan to Dan.
Yeah, Dan's good.
Get yourself some culture. I don't know.
Get some culture. It's not slime time.
Yeah.
Ready for slime time. That should have been the name of this episode.
There it is.
Welcome to slime time. Okay.
Relax,
Is there any-
guy.
Is there anything we want to mention before we bounce out of here?
No.
Okay. I'm
All
pretty
right.
sure I'm pretty. Oh, no stream next week. No Grawlix next week.
Oh, right.
It's back to
school.
back to work, back to school.
Yeah.
School's in session. It's gonna be stressful times.
To that grind.
I got offered to be a bus driver for Elkhorn.
Oh, don't
Yeah.
do it.
Don't do it.
just because, man.
Are they bad
those-
kids?
They're good kids.
Well, no, it's not
They're
the bad
all
kids.
great
It's
kids.
Like,
Jesse's a
the,
teacher and he's
the
on a
company-
public.
Yeah.
I love
communications
it.
in here.
I love it. It's just that like they really stretch our drivers thin. I feel like.
Oh
'Cause
yeah.
they're constantly like coming in late because they've got so many different routes they've got to do, and then
Right.
it's like,
That's
where
all
are
of them,
you?
though.
You know, and then you got kids like waiting at school for a good half hour after
Right.
school, and
That's pretty common among
And
all
then
of
parents.
them.
oh, okay. Well,
they're
I
just
mean,
short on
I think
drivers,
our
period.
kids are pretty good, but
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah, I know, I
biased.
gotcha. Okay.
Melanie knows that grind though. That's for
Yeah.
sure.
I do.
Is that what you were doing? Is that the job you had when back a decade and some change ago when we started this show? And there'd be a lot of episodes where you'd jump in like an hour into the half hour, an hour into the show because you were working. Were you doing bus driver stuff?
I for part of it I was driving and part of it I was dispatching
Okay, I thought so.
because I did the two together for 10 years, maybe a little longer, I don't know, but I dispatched for like 4 or 5 of the 10 years. So
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sure our viewers and listeners. You know what? This is why they're here.
Yeah.
Who's the show
Yeah,
for? It's for you.
you've never thought about this before. You should think about this. How are your kids getting home?
Right.
yeah, and if they jump out the back of a bus, that's not the driver's fault. The driver's driving. Gosh.
No, yeah.
Right. Right.
What are they gonna do? Be like, don't do that. Don't unlock the door that was locked for a reason.
Right.
Maybe you should teach your kid not to jump out the back of a bus.
Yeah,
Maybe.
maybe that's the problem. Maybe that's the problem. Instill like a basic sense of preservation, I guess.
Yeah.
Hey, you like extreme metal? I'm segueing.
Segue. That's
I don't even think you can call that a segue. That's a blunt.
extreme, like the metal of a metal bus. You know,
Yeah,
a
you
yellow
like-
metal bus.
Yeah.
Buses are heavy and made out of metal.
Yeah.
Tomorrow night, like every Friday night, most likely, as far as unless something changes, I will be streaming live on Helix Rock Radio, rockradio.live. If you're listening to this show here, there now, it's one of those words. Tomorrow about the same time,
Hey
I'll be here, playing extreme metal, death metal, black metal, thrash,
Some weird stuff
black,
that's-
black.
kind of like funky, and then it turns metal.
I think I am actually going to open the show with one of those songs. Last weekend I come across a band that mixes black metal with like soulful blues, gospel style, not gospel in lyrics, but gospel style music. I found it super interesting. Melanie reacted to it the way I expected her to, but I thought it was very interesting, and I will probably be opening tomorrow night's Edge of the Abyss stream with some of that. So yeah, come get some culture.
Get that culture.
Come get that culture.
Wait,
Either
is that like is that bad? That's not like.
Did you say a
I'm gonna
noob?
Look that up now.
Noob? Noob's fine. No, that's fine.
you'd be like, come get some culture, or this robot squirrels will make you.
Right.
I call them a rube.
Listen to
country
listen.
bumpkin.
Oh, a rube.
That doesn't seem,
that's not bad.
That doesn't seem so bad. Okay.
That's innocent.
Yeah.
They
Most
are
people probably don't
rubes.
even know what that means.
I start the show by calling them worse things because, like I said earlier, I like to cultivate a certain feeling amongst the listeners. I usually call them scumbags, but
Oh, that's fun.
yeah,
That's like a Gwar thing right there.
Yeah.
right. There was new Gwar released last week. I played some Gwar last week. I was very surprised. I was like, "What? New Gwar? Okay, cool. That's a rarity."
They were out and about with some. Maybe they were at like Comic-Con. There was all sorts of Comic-Con stuff just happened. I guess. I don't know.
All right. Well, let's get out of here for the night.
Yeah. Get out of here.
Go on and get. Thanks for
You
listening.
Scumbags.
You scumbags. Watch out, or the robo rabbits and the anime squirrel's gonna come after you.
Yeah.
All
Get smurfed.
right. Get smurfed. Grawlixpodcast.com. Grawlix podcast.com. Go there. Get smurfed. Thursdays can get bent, you rube.
Yeah.
Hey, that was a lot of fun.
We did them all.
The show's coming alive. All right, I'm going to end the stream.
It's all pizza now.
It's all pizza. You don't know gets about bat dancing and none of it.
Wu-Tang, it's for the children.
You got all the things.
Yeah.
All right. Bye, YouTube.
Bye.